This is Frontier Force, a brand new game for the Sega Master System. Yep, brand new. This is from current year 2025 as it says so on the title screen, to the sound of some wonderful PS2 music. Look how happy that guy is, rocking those shades and 80s hair. He's smiling because he's not real, so nobody's going to make fun of his sense of fashion. The plot is about what you would expect from a shooter of the 1980s. You control a guy called Guy, who is fighting against an alien force that brought most of Earth down to ruins. Save the last human family! I mean settlement! You press the 1 button to shoot with a primary weapon, or press and hold 2 to use your laser gun, or tap it once to throw a bomb. Though I've only done that by accident, which is easy to do with this kind of input. You might want to never use bombs, and I'll explain why in a moment. You can only move left and right, but if you double tap with the D-pad, you do a dash that doubles as a dodge mechanic. This is another example of a game that looks much simpler than it plays. Watching footage, you know what the main objective is. Shoot alien ships, don't get shot. Collect points and medals if you can. However, there is a lot more going on that gives this game a unique quirk. You have a selection of different primary weapons to use. Each weapon works best against certain types of enemies, dealing double damage. And if you destroy a whole chain of similar ships using the right gun, you are rewarded with a charge of laser ammo. The manual the game comes with suggests what weapons to use for what enemy based on their sizes, but if you really want to reach a stage boss in the best condition possible, you have to use your better judgment and ignore the suggestions. For example, the chain gun is the best weapon for destroying the smaller ships, but if you can tell their formation moves close to the bottom of the screen at any point, using the flamethrower would be a smarter use of our ammunition. And if there's a wave of ships that don't attack the settlement buildings at all, you could spare your resources and focus exclusively on dodging. Don't let a piece of paper tell you what to do. You are your own free person. The laser gun is always the most powerful weapon, but refilling it takes time. With the default game settings, however, once the laser amount reaches 0, one of your bombs is converted into a full charge. This is why I suggested never using bombs. The default weapon has unlimited ammo, but its damage sucks. It really does, and you're better off only using it when you manage to run out of ammo for other weapons. If you get proficient enough, this should never happen, but speaking from experience, in the heat of the moment you get carried away and end up making bad use of your guns while you're still learning. Even after I got used to it, I was still messing up because the D-pad would make me switch weapons by accident when I was trying to dash to the sides. And it's kinda hard to alternate weapons fast enough sometimes. And I wasn't even playing with a Master System controller. I can't even imagine tolerating this control scheme with that junk. Between waves, a balloon of some sort will fly across the top of the screen. If you shoot it, it will drop ammunition or a temporary shield. As long as you use the right weapon for each chain of alien ships, those supplies should keep you mostly covered. More than just aiming and shooting, this game wants you to make quick decisions that constantly impact the overall challenge. Do you try to shoot every enemy, or do you try to focus entirely on ships going for the settlement? Are you confident you can pick up every medal and still survive the incoming fire? Do you use your laser for the big ships, or do you risk using less effective guns to conserve the laser for the boss? Some of the enemy fire can even be dodged with perfect timing to make pickups drop from them. So if you're really bold, that's yet another risky move to increase your score and final rank. Even the boss fights come with this kind of risk versus reward design, with the fight being on a timer, pressuring you to finish the boss quickly, or risk trying to destroy every single weapon in the enemy ship for more points. Although more experienced shooter players tell me this kind of boss design is found in other games. Whatever your strategy, just know this is not an easy game. In my opinion, it's one of the hardest games on the Master System that isn't in Japanese. Keep in mind, I'm only speaking from the perspective of someone who is clearly not the target player of this kind of game. I was only able to make it as far as stage 4, on easy. I tried hard mode out of morbid curiosity, and at least in the first stage I didn't actually notice much of an increase in difficulty. I'm well aware the point of this game is to be playable on the Master System itself, but I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't have enjoyed the enemy weakness system more if this game was programmed to take advantage of a 6-button controller for the Sega Genesis. Imagine how much more manageable having more buttons for the primary weapons would have been. Before you start the game, you can choose between 3 difficulties, set up if you want to give away one of your bombs to fewer laser ammo or not, and change the input to switch weapons, which I highly recommend you experiment with. There is also a sauna option where you can do sound testing for some reason. In spite of being a single screen game, Badcomputer really made the Master System's graphic capability flex. The sprites and scenery are very colorful and a lot more detailed than the average Master System game. There is some trickery with the moving clouds giving an illusion of parallax, and the explosion effects are very satisfying. I paid $5 for the digital copy, which anyone can buy by going to Badcomputer's itch.io page and finding the official ROM. If you're a physical collector, Two Minds is publishing the physical package and, as of the making of this review, are taking pre-orders. I have to give a special thanks to the guys from sagabits.com for promoting this game in one of their posts a couple weeks ago. If I didn't visit their website now and then, I might not have known this game even existed. You need to run the game on an emulator to play it unless you can secure a physical copy and wait patiently. Will this game get some kind of multi-platform digital release in the future? Who knows? All I can say is if you're a fan of the Sega Master System and like what you see, you should get this game. It's not the holy grail of the system or something to be super hyped over, but it's really well put together and very easy to just pick up and play for an attempt or two. And did I mention it was made by one guy? That's Frontier Force. Simple to grasp but still insanely challenging, looks very colorful, and honestly the Master System indie scene needs the support. As always, thanks for watching and take care.